So imagine you're stopping at your favorite gas station. It happens to be a gas station that a family member owns. And you've always stopped there for gas, and you don't think anything's wrong. You gas up, buy some snacks, and take off. But you had no idea that there was somebody else in that store with you that took a real liking to you. Just love at first sight, but didn't say anything about it, and tried to force you to love them over the span of 3 years. This is the true story of a woman that was stalked by a police officer, a state trooper, for almost 3 years, and she had to take the law in her own hands before anything was done. Let's take a walk and check it out. So there was a woman one day, her name is Skylar, and she went to the gas station like she normally does to fill up. Now the interesting thing is the gas station was actually owned by her brother, so they kind of knew each other. But either way, she went to fill up her tank, bought some snacks, and thought everything was great, went on with her day. Well, she had no idea that another person was in the store at the exact same time. And that person really took a liking to her. Ended up being a nightmare for her for almost 3 years. This is Skylar's story. In March of 2019, Skylar was checking her emails, like we all do. And all of a sudden she noticed it. A very nasty email came from an anonymous person, somebody that she obviously didn't know. Now it said, and I quote, the first one said, "If I have to come over there, I'll take my own pics. I'm going to get what I want." What that email was referring to is that she was being stalked, but she didn't know her stalker. And that stalker knew everything about her, somehow, some way. Got her email address, her phone numbers. And this person kept emailing and texting her, saying, "Hi, how are you? You look beautiful. I'd love to meet. We should hang out." And specifically, he started asking her for nude pics. And that's what this email refers to. Now, this wasn't the only email. There's another one. I'm gonna read it word for word. The second one says, "You are going to scream and moan, but you probably won't like it." So this person is clearly obsessed and is starting to really just threaten her. The emails weren't the only thing that he did. He also stopped by her house many times in a marked cruiser. Yeah, just showed up with police written on the side. Now, again, she didn't have any idea that her stalker was a police officer, but he used his authority, abuse of authority, and just kind of parked his car out in front, kept watching her, taking pictures and everything, talking with her, literally chatting with her on text message as he's sitting outside of her home. But also, for some reason, he decided to use the police database almost 19 times to search for her. That's how he got her information, her address, her phone number, her past tickets. He got all that information by using a police-only database. So naturally, Skylar goes to the police. She's sitting there for a few hours and they take her statement. She shows them text messages and emails. And after about a couple hours, they come back to her and say, "Sorry, we're gonna need an actual name." Well, I don't know about you, but if you think about this logically, the person that was stalking her was a cop. And so she goes to the cop station, and there's a good chance that this cop had friends. I bet you half of the people on the force either knew what was going on or kind of sensed it. But still, going to the police when you don't know that your stalker is an actual police officer at the same precinct, man, that's a mindfuck I don't wish on anybody. So of course, Skylar leaves the police station realizing, wait a second, I'm alone on this one. I don't think I'm gonna get the help that I need. So she decides, instead of just rolling over and just hoping it goes away, she took matters into her own hands and started her own investigation, became her own police officer. Now, what's really cool about this story is that because the police couldn't help or wouldn't help because she had no name, and because she didn't want to be stalked anymore, instead of being scared, she took the bull by the horns, and that bull went down like a ton of bricks. So what happened after, for 3 years, she gathered a whole ton of information about everybody that was at that gas station, because she could tell that it must have been somebody that knew her from that day, because things started happening the day after she filled up her gas tank. So she collected all the emails, she started researching the patterns of speech, started figuring out the psychology of the person, And she basically documented everything for 3 whole years. And then one day, just somehow, some way, she got an anonymous tip. And that tip didn't give a name, but it gave a situation. And that's when she finally realized, and she realized who exactly it was that was stalking her. And it was a state trooper. In December of 2019, she finally got her name, Mark Holland. She figured it out herself. Through all the emails, through all the text messages, she finally had a name, and she went and told the police. And that's where we started this story. The police went in, knocked down his door, put him under arrest, and of course the judge 100% agreed with what he laid down. So first of all, Mark had to resign. He was 19 years on the force, and he had to resign. Karma was like, no, none of that shit. You're gonna get a lot worse than that. And the judge agreed. Mark ended up having 20 felony charges, including stalking, intimidation, but also, for some reason, he decided to use the police database almost 19 times to search for her. That's how he got her information. And of course, when the lawyers found that out and presented that in court, even the judge was like, wait a second now, 19 times you're gonna research this woman? You can't tell me that's not stalking. He tried to deny it, but of course the judge was smart enough to see through it. Now you may be thinking to yourself, hold on there, Chris, you said karma wasn't done. Good catch. Because what he also got was 10 years in prison. That's right, 10 years in prison. Now, to you and I, that may not sound that bad. Well, actually, it sounds pretty bad. Except for the fact that we all know what happens to cops when they're in Gen Pop. So I'd like to think that that person, Mark, is probably getting his ass handed to him probably once a week. And that's where I believe karma stepped in and said, you know what? You're gonna go to jail, you're gonna go to Gen Pop, and we'll see if some of the people, some of your cellmates weren't people that you actually arrested. Now I wanna do some quick math there for a second. 19 years on the force, stalked somebody for 3 years. It all came crashing down in under 10 minutes when she found out who it was. And the good thing is, at least the police believed her. Knocked down his door, grabbed him, took him away. Now, for those of you that may be being stalked or are worried about being stalked, I have a bunch of products that would help you. I've posted the link in the description of this video. Before you think, well, what authority do I have? Look at me. Tell me I don't look like a cop or an ex-cop or somebody in the risk management sector. I'm gonna leave it there. Suffice to say that if you guys want some help, I posted a link below, a bunch of products that are absolutely necessary to make sure that you don't fall in the same trap as Skylar did. Now, the thing I like about karma is that it's almost never done. It's almost never instant. It happens over a span of a couple of years. And what I'm referring to is karma also helped Skylar write a novel. Yeah, that's right. She wrote a novel about this entire situation so that other people don't become victims and other people watch out for somebody on the force or somebody in authority or a position of power. And that became a best-selling novel. Good for you, Skylar. I love it. I love it when karma finally makes things right. Now, if you like stories about stalking and bad relationships, I got another one for you. I'm working on this one. I'm gonna be releasing it soon. This one is about a woman that was also stalked by a police officer, a state trooper yet again, except this one had more dire consequences. Obviously, some stalking went on, but this officer went as far as to track her vehicle, send her little text messages every now and again saying, hey, don't walk into that store. People are dangerous in there. I just arrested somebody in that mall. And of course, this woman was just beside herself. And the biggest difference is she knew who it was. And he knew that she knew who it was, and he didn't care. Well, she did, and he certainly got what's coming to him. Yeah, karma stepped in. It's awesome. You gotta check it out. I'll be doing the video and posting it soon. I absolutely love karma, and I firmly believe in karma. I believe if you're a good person and you do things above the law and do things in a nice manner, upstanding citizen if you were, then life's just gonna make sure you're okay. Some bad things are gonna happen, but generally speaking, you're gonna come out okay. But I also believe if you do bad things and you're a colossal dick, I think the world is just gonna come after you. And I think karma is always gonna be there to make sure that things get set right. That's a good lesson. Don't mess with karma, because karma can certainly ruin your life. And as usual, if you like what you see, go ahead and give me a follow. Give me a little fire emoji in the comments, because I'm gonna be doing a ton of these videos. Anyways, I'm Chris Bez. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.